is there any foods people who've had a laryngectomy will have difficulty eating?
It depends. I'm going to show this picture again. So when they take the voice box out, sometimes the cancer is a little more extensive in some people. So they have to take tissue from maybe other parts of your body to reconstruct the throat. And so that can take some time to heal, or maybe some foods just don't go down as well as they did before. The other big thing is radiation. Some people have the surgery after they've had radiation. And when you've had radiation to this area, usually the salivary glands are affected. So you have a dry mouth. So sometimes food just doesn't go down as easily. So, things that are moist and slippery are easier, or you need to always have liquids in order to get the food down. With that said, radiation can be in this area too, that makes the tissue stiffer. And so the food, once it gets into the esophagus, just doesn't move through the esophagus as easily or quickly as before, or can become narrow. So it kind of depends on your situation.
But and I can support what you said there. Every time I have a meal, I have a glass of water with me as well. Just swallowing down, because there is a slight change in the esophagus, isn't there? So and it's going to affect the swallow. So yeah, I mean, me personally, I still eat anything and everything. So I don't get to the size without eating. So moving on then. Obviously, it's going to take people longer to eat a meal. Because a lot of people, a lot of patients I work with say to me, what can I do about taking longer to eat a meal? It's not really much unless you have a glass of water or some fluid, isn't there, really? Any other tips you can sort of add to what you said, or not?
There's a couple of things that I'd recommend. One is I would try to get away from 3 large meals. That's kind of how we were brought up: breakfast, lunch, dinner. And I think it's better, especially when it takes longer to eat, just have smaller amounts, but throughout the day. Don't just limit it to 3 large meals. I also think if you, and I hear this a lot from people, why they don't want to go out socially is that, they feel like they're making everyone wait for them. And my recommendation is to actually eat before you go to a social event. And then when you get there, you have something that is fairly easy for you to swallow. Like you have the soup, or you have something that seems easy on the menu to eat, and then you have that, and then you're not starving, and so people are waiting for you to finish. I think it makes it socially easier and more comfortable.
Well, I thank you. That I will definitely take some of them pointers that you've just mentioned. Stored in my head. Can you describe then for me now, please, what a person's daily routine is? A person's had a laryngectomy. What would their daily routine be like when you think about management of the stoma, and if they've got a voice prosthesis, that type of thing? Really, what would their day look like in managing this?
Usually, most of it occurs in the morning. You usually, kind of depends on what you're doing at night. If you have a tube or a base plate, something over the stoma with your HME. But typically, you need to get up some of those secretions during the night that accumulate, or the things are drier maybe at night, and so you feel like you have secretions kind of sitting there in the morning. So that's a routine. Some people use a little bit of saline in the stoma to help break up the secretions and get them cleared. if you wear a base plate, it's a routine of putting maybe something on the skin so it doesn't get so irritated with the adhesive, or some people have glues or other products that help the adhesive stay better. So it's getting that base plate set up in the morning, and maybe a new HME. Cleaning the prosthesis during the night. Some of those secretions kind of sit in the prosthesis, so you need to clean that prosthesis out. What else? What else am I missing?
No, I think you're right. It happens in the morning.
Yeah, I guess, getting ready for the day. If you're going to, go out, I always suggest you have like an emergency kit or something that you always take out with you, just in case, like you blow a base plate or you lose your HME, or just to have supplies ready to go with you if you do leave the house.
Yeah, no, I will again reiterate what you just said there. In the morning, I get up, I clean inside of my stoma because it is drier in the night. Fresh HME and fresh base plate. I'm wearing a base plate, and today I'm wearing a Larry button, so that's fine to leave it clean. But yeah, you're right. And ready to go for the day. And you're right, I always carry a spare HME or Larry button or base plate with me in case they do fall emergencies, but if they ever fall out, then I've got them replaced, so